Well, at Comic-Con 2013, I got my hands on Knack and the PS4, and honestly, I'm gonna tell you one thing. It was great. I loved it. Now, there is one thing I'd like to point out about Knack, and honestly, it's only because it's in the beta stages and it was a demo, but it did freeze on me. That is nothing I shouldn't worry about that, but just pointing it out, it did freeze on me. I'll get back to the game in a second. What I want to talk about though is the controller, and honestly, this was the thing that I wanted to. This is the thing I wanted to do the most when I got there. I wanted to get my hands on this controller and I wanted to feel it. Because I grew up in the 90s, and honestly, the systems I owned was the Super Nintendo, and I didn't go to N64 after that. I went to PS1, and honestly, I loved the hell out of the PS1. I owned the controller before the DualShock, but when the DualShock came out, I fell in love with it instantly. Ape Escape was my game. Now, I didn't get the PS2, but I did get the Xbox, and we'll talk about the Xbox One controller in another video. Or if you've already seen it, then you already know my opinion. But the PS2 controller was a carbon copy of the DualShock 1. The DualShock 2 was pretty much the same thing. Now, the DualShock 3 was a thing when it was coming out, was really frightening me, and almost became that boomerang. And that looked scary. But they didn't, and they went back to the original design. But they did mess up one big thing: the triggers. Now these triggers, they're fine, just they aren't great for shooting games. Now saying that, the PS4 controller has completely fixed that and made the controller 10 times better. The touchpad, yeah, everyone was a little skeptical, but honestly, it feels fine. Like, it doesn't block anything in the controller, it doesn't like take up extra room, it fits. It's there. The light bar seems pretty cool, everything seems legit. The triggers in the back feel amazing. They feel like a regular trigger should be. I like the stiffness of it. It gives you that feedback, that force feedback, and it's just great. And the thumbsticks, now instead of being like this loose, I never really had a problem when I was playing games with this. Like, my fingers never really came off of it, people complained. So now they're more concave, and they work better. They feel great, and honestly, it wasn't broken before, for me at least it wasn't, but they made it better, and honestly, that's all I care about. Now, let's talk about Knack. Knack feels like your classic old run-of-the-mill just platformer. If anything, it feels like Crash Bandicoot, and that's a great thing, because I loved Crash Bandicoot, and if you didn't play Crash Bandicoot as a kid, I hope to God you played some other great game like Banjo-Kazooie on whatever console you played, or if you're growing up, I hope you played a platformer, because they're amazing, especially Mario. Dirt. But this one, it works more like, I gotta explain it. I would say it's like Katamari, where like you collect the pieces around you and you get bigger and bigger. Like, from the demo, I played from through an ice stage, then it I was playing through a city, then it froze on me, and then I went to the next demo station, which had me going through an ice stage, and I was like just wrecking shit. Of course, this felt limited. Of course, this is just the demo, and I could only just attack, jump, and attack, and do special moves. And honestly, it felt just right. The controls felt just flawless. Moved left to right. It was a 3D experience. The camera was non-existent. It's all like set up, situated. The camera's in fixed locations. Honestly, it works perfect. The camera doesn't seem like there's going to be any problem with it. Now, the thing about the Katamari, when you get bigger and bigger, now the next stage, I was like the size of buildings attacking tanks. Now, I want to know how more amazing this game gets, because I want to know how it transitions from that to that. Like, if you just, I don't want it to just like jump from like one scene to the next. It didn't seem like that. Of course, it was a demo, but I kept collecting things. I kept collecting like items around me, and it kept like just making my character bigger. And of course, I love this. Oh my God, there it is. I love that move because it reminds me of the good old days with Crash Bandicoot. Honestly, Knack was a great game. It felt fun, and I can't wait to play it. PS4 controller feels amazing. I have no complaints. Nah, no complaints. My only complaint is to myself. I didn't play Octodad.